Meanwhile, in battleground Georgia, a state that saw record-breaking early voting numbers ahead of yesterday's primary election, one of the victory speeches out there went like this.
I am a fighter. And I could not rest knowing that people across this state needed someone to stand in the gap and fight on their behalf. And Georgians sent a clear message tonight that they want a fighter. Someone who will stand up to Donald Trump in all of the chaos. And let's be clear, the only people Burt Jones and Rick Jackson have fought for are themselves. Their campaigns are not about Georgians. They are not waking up every single day thinking about the challenges that our families are facing across this state and how to take them on. And they certainly do not see Donald Trump as someone to stand up to.
So that is former Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms putting her potential challengers on notice last night. CBS News projects she's the Democratic nominee for Georgia governor come November, and she'll take on either Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones or billionaire healthcare executive Rick Jackson. And those two will then go head-to-head again on June 16th. CBS News correspondent Skyler Henry is live in Atlanta for us today. Skyler, thanks for your time. So what should our main takeaways from the results in those races last night? What should our main takeaways be?
Yeah, well, let's start with that race, right? And looking at the now projected Democratic nominee, Keisha Lance Bottoms, someone who for a long time had wide name recognition, but there were some questions going into yesterday as to whether that name recognition would either help or hurt her. As some voters had expressed up until the primary that there were some concerns surrounding her time as mayor in Atlanta, and also the fact that she didn't run for re-election. They questioned whether that she would be someone who was willing to be in the fight for governor come November. Clearly, the results show otherwise, given the sizable number of folks that came out to vote for her and the gap really between her and the next closest candidate. On the Republican side, I think it is incredibly interesting to see what happens as we move forward to this June 16th runoff. You heard the names there, Lieutenant Governor Burt Jones and also Rick Jackson. Jones is someone who has been endorsed by President Trump. Rick Jackson, a healthcare billionaire, is someone who came into this race relatively late, but also made a sizable jump as it relates to the polls. I think it'll be interesting to see what we see over the course of the next 4 weeks, how the two sharpen the knives, so to speak, towards one another, and really whether the Trump endorsement really continues to hold weight that we have seen in all of these races all across the country, and what that looks like going forward. In the Senate is another instance of that, right? We have Derek Dooley, the former Tennessee Volunteer football coach who has run with the endorsement of the current Republican governor, Brian Kemp. Kemp opted not to run for U.S. Senate last year and has really walked in lockstep with Dooley this entire time. Many view him as an outsider, and that is something that Kemp and Dooley say is what is going to be necessary to not only win in this primary, but also beat the incumbent, the Democrat Jon Ossoff, who ran unopposed in November. Mike Collins, who had the majority of the vote yesterday but didn't get that 50% plus one threshold, is someone that has touted himself as a MAGA warrior. He is touting his conservative agenda and his record and the things that he has been able to accomplish over the course of his time in Congress, and he feels as if that is what is going to be needed in order to not only win, saying that it is experience that will be needed to beat Jon Ossoff, not an outsider's perspective. So I think those two things are incredibly interesting to watch, Mugo. I also think, too, that despite the surge of Democrats that came out to vote early in this race, I think it'll be interesting to see what happens moving forward, not only in the primary next month, but also in November, what type of effect that has in terms of just folks heading to the polls early, what that means in terms of Republican turnout, and how that impacts many of these races, not only in the Senate, but elsewhere down the ballot.
Yeah, so much to keep our eye on when it comes to Georgia and the upcoming election. Skyler Henry, thank you so much for your time.